Moin, moin, hello ladies and gentlemen, Donspektor here with another Donboxing, and today I have something for you you probably have never heard of. We have the thHifi character. Yeah, this is a brand I have also never heard of, and when I did some googling I was like, okay, this actually looks like it could be pretty cool. And yeah, it's one of the few IEMs that has a complete metal shell casing in for like this price point at least. And yeah, one thing that I did see in other pictures, this has a freaking bamboo box. So this clocks in, I think, new also at like 160 bucks, but on sale definitely had for cheaper. And the most unimpressive thing about this is probably the spec here. Okay, this is all Chinese. Unfortunately, I can't read Chinese. But yeah, this is a single, wait, here it's in English. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, it's one DD and one BA, so that ain't the best for the price point we're asking for, but you have very premium like packaging here, and let's see what you get when you actually order this. So let me just quickly take my knife and open a bit of the packaging here so we can actually look inside. And yeah, I think the only other IEM that I had so far, I'll just quickly open this before I continue talking. I want to say the only other IEM that came with an partly wooden box was the LZA7, and while this is a very good IEM in its own right, I actually haven't been using it much in the last past because its tuning is just not that great after having some experience and trying more things, and it's nice that you have a lot of tuning options, but still it could be better. So that's the box here. As you can see, even some like actually milled in here, very nicely looking. Even the tolerances are pretty okay for a wooden box. And we open it like this. This feels super premium. Like if you would tell me this thing costs, I don't know, like 1,000 bucks or more, I'd be like, yeah, I believe you. This is very nicely feeling. And then we remove this. We get greeted with the, as I said, complete metal IEM here. And I think today we are checking out the IEM before we come to the accessories. This is a thick ass foam block, as you can see, or two foam blocks. And yeah, really, it feels very premium. Let's just remove that. Oh my god, is it perfumed? It's perfumed. Okay, okay, yeah, it's one of those boxes. So really, they are going for a super premium unboxing experience. And that's the character here. As you can see, this is a full aluminum shell. Actually, on the smaller side of things, absolutely. And yeah, it seems to be a two-part design. That means here, faceplate is one part, and then the other part is just the rest. And yeah, no, is the nozzle glued in? It's difficult to assess. I don't think so. The seam around it is very minor, as you can see here. I think this is actually a two-parted design. So I like to see this. And in that, it's definitely a bit on the heavier side, but not actually heavy. And yeah, one thing that will probably fuck off a few people here is the MMCX connector. I don't particularly mind it. As long as you have an opening tool for it, it's absolutely no issue. But yeah, you need an opening tool. And thankfully, I have one left from the Rose Techniques Quiet C, really 50 buck IEM that has a great cable, comes with the MMCX opener, really nice accessories. I really liked that. And I wish all MMCX IEMs would come with this opener. Like really, it's not expensive, just throw it in, right? But yeah, faceplate here, I think these are some Chinese characters, or I'm not entirely sure. Unfortunately, I can't read Chinese and I don't know any Chinese characters, or if this is just some parts of them. But I do like the optics. It's definitely very unique. And one thing I can already tell you, but I'm not a great fan of, you can see some glue here on the side. I mean, if you go from super premium, honestly, just double check that there's no glue here. This is not the most premium looking if you actually even feel it or see it. The sides here, as you can see, is slightly grooved, so it's not that boring. And yeah, it seems to be pretty well made from what I can see. Also, mesh is integrated well, so I don't really have complaints. Then let's continue the unboxing experience. Yeah, this is a thick ass wooden box. Like really, this feels super premium. And let's quickly check and look at the manual if this continues with premium. Yeah, they even give you the recommendation on how long to listen to here. Wow, okay, that is nice for some people who don't do that much. Oh, there's some replaceable cable instructions here, wearing guidance. That is nice. Seems to be well layouted. And we continue here the actually premium unboxing. This is all the way foam. Oh, there's a lot of foam. Here I think are the accessories inside. Let's quickly check them out. 1 set of tips, 2 set of tips, 3 set of tips, 4 set of tips. Okay, there's a lot of tips. All right. Let's see what actually we are getting here. So this is wider outlet, very thin silicone. The S is actually pretty damn small. This is smaller outlet, much more cone-shaped. Reminds me almost of the Final E, but with a slightly wider outlet, but also very thin silicone. Then we have these here. This is kind of like this. Yeah, it seems to be very similar to this. A slightly longer though, as far as I can see from just having it here in my hand. Slightly longer tip, but very close to this one. And then last but not least, a set of standard Rendo-ass ear tips here. I think next time thHifi, remove one of these sets, I would say, and throw in some foam tips. Those give you a better variety. But yeah, overall, this is super very nice accessories. And then the carrying case here. Yeah, so this is again glued. I'm not the greatest fan of things here that just have fake stitches and are glued overall. But it's actually, you can see it's a bit squishy here and you can hear it's glued. But overall, it's pretty fine. And then magnet here holds well enough. Not much of like wiggle going on. And then we open it and we get the cable. And unfortunately, no net also for tips, which with this many tips could be a bit better. But it's also velveted on the inside here, so that's nice. There shouldn't be any scratches. And we also get this fake lever thing to actually hold the cable together. Let's open that and quickly take a more detailed look at the cable. Okay, I have to confess, just before that I unboxed the Kinera Relentless, which came in the same order. And I'm never such a great fan of these more rough twisted wires. They tend, yeah, I mean, let me give it a fair shot. Okay, it's not good, as you can see here. Like, this keeps its shape very well, and that means it's not really that great. And we also come with the plug here, which is very reflective and no contour, no texture, so very slippery to grip. But we have a strain release that is actually releasing strain, so that's nice to see. Cable thickness is about on par with the Relentless here, so like medium thick. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this like rough waving here, because yeah, it usually means it's more tangly. You can go for 4 cores like this, but they just need to be thicker, so it does get smoother easily. Or you go for more tight waving that the other cable had, or for more cores. It usually helps. Then a small chin slider here and a small splitter. And then the chin slider here does have some friction. So, this should actually stay in place. Okay, not too much as you can see, but at least some friction. Cable thickness, I think, is the same. Yes. And the top part is, again, keeping its shape more than I'd want to. Let me just get a bit of... No. Not so great. Okay. Let's check out the ear hooks here. So... Okay, compared to Relentless, definitely this is an upgrade. This is basically the same bending radius, but it's definitely a small bend here. Like really, this is on the small side of things. So that could be too small for some ears. And then on top here, again, it matches the style. I have to say this is nice. And unfortunately, it lacks a color coding here. It's just L and R. At least because it's so reflective, you can easily read it. And yeah, it's definitely metal. Like, this is a heavy-ass top connector here. I think it's a steel. Like, it feels like really substantial in my hand here. And yeah, again, MMCX here, and let's get an let's directly mount it. Let's see what type of MMCX we get with this. Let's have a look, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this should be right. Yes, this is right. And here we have left cable. That's the wrong cable. Let's mount our MMCX. Okay, this is the semi-tight one. This is good. I don't prefer the super tight MMCX that you can't basically twist. This is like still very tight on here and you can't just unplug it, but it's not as tight as other connectors. And yeah, you can twist as you can see. So that's one upgrade of MMCX. It just gives you a bit better articulation in your ear. While yeah, with 2-pin, there's not much of an articulation. You need to have the right cable for the job that is just just like this. It's supposed to be slightly on the inside, so it just gives you a better fit, but not like this. This is too much, this will be uncomfortable, but really just slightly on the inside. And yeah, with this MMCX, you can easily do that, so that's nice. So yes, overall unboxing so far, feels really premium, looks really premium, accessories are nice, as I said, only foam tips are missing. And yeah, we'll give this a first listen and cut this after that. And again, first impressions quickly here. Comfort of this is pretty damn good for me. It's definitely on the smaller side, like everything here is smallish. And yeah, my favorite go-to tip here, the liquid silicone, worked really nicely for me. And yeah, also isolation was pretty good when I walked around with it outside. And sound-wise, yeah, so that's an odd one. To my ear, the mids are really good. Like, it's one of those cases where I'm like, huh, really clear mids, nicely defined, well separated from the rest of the mix, but everything else is kind of rubbish. The bass doesn't really have impact, it doesn't slam, it has definitely roll-off going on, and there's shout. And again, let me really stress, I'm not sensitive to shout. Like, most IEMs that people said, that's kind of shouty. I'm like, is it? Like, I don't hear it. But here I'm like, boy, this has shout. And even worse, it has definitively at least 1 or 2 peaks in the treble department. And my ears, it's probably 5K. Like, it really, it comes off as like not nice at all. And by graph, you can see it's on 5K peak. And unfortunately, yeah, you can also see how early the pinner gain is. Yeah, that explains the shout here. It's definitely too early, and yeah, the 5K peak resolves as such as well. And even the peak later on, honestly, is for me perceivable as a peak. It's not really a plateau. And overall, I don't really enjoy the signature of this. On the bright side though, compared to the Relentless, that I got at the same time, well, this one is more detailed than the Relentless. It's not even the question where I'm like, so which one sounds more detailed? No, Relentless somehow comes off blunted, like this one does not. Sure, it's probably something to do with the peaks here, but yeah, overall, Relentless is like really smoothing over details, especially some micro details. This one here makes it definitely pop more. If that's good or not, depends on you. I just want to say that's my perception, first impressions here. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. As usual, questions, recommendations, or criticisms in the comments. Donspektor out.